You've probably heard me say this a million times, if not a million more, but our feet are one of our important foundations of any type of movement or position, standing upright, standing vertical. So we want to take care of those feet right now. So we're going to play with it in different ways. All you need is your yoga mat. So I'm going to turn to the side and then I'll keep turning forward again for you. So place the feet wide, almost as wide as the mat. Lift your chest a little bit, shift your butt towards your heels, reach the arms inside the thighs, and then lift the butt into Malasana. It's just another way to come into Malasana, especially if you've been sitting for a while and you're feeling very tight. It's just a little bit more accessible. And you can totally play with adjustments. If you need to place a towel or a blanket or even roll the mat underneath your heels, you can do that. Okay, so we're just going to hold this for a few breaths, actively push the triceps into the inner thighs and lift your chest, straight arms. And I want you to feel the feet activating, so the toes spreading, and we're gonna shift forward and back and actually look down, so you're adding more weight going forward, working with gravity, and hopefully you're feeling a stretch in the calf, going down all the way to the Achilles and maybe the soles of the feet, the arches of the feet. If not anything, hopefully you're getting it into the calf. And just make sure the knees aren't collapsing in. You're trying to keep that tall spine. And I want you to energetically push the heels into the mat so that you're really getting that opening in the calves. Okay. Now, very slowly lower the butt down. We're going to come into a balancing happy baby or balancing baby. Dorsiflex the feet. Start to lift the feet up. You're going to take your fingers on the soles of the feet and make sure you get that pinky toe. You're going to really pull the toes back and keep your chest lifted, so it is a balancing baby. And you're just trying to keep this position. It's just pretty much happy baby, but you're balancing on pretty much your tailbone. Okay, so really pulling the toes back, lifting the chest, and if you happen to roll back, have fun and come back into this position. And then slowly keep the toes pulling back, bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to turn to the front view so you can see a little bit more detail. Okay, so we're in this position. You're going to hold on to the toes, just give them a stretch, lift your chest, and just pulse the knees up and down. Good. And now all you're going to do is you're going to plantar flex the right toes, keep the left toes dorsiflex. You're going to use both palms and kind of just pull them over, so you're getting a little bit more toe stretch, top of the foot, mostly toes, and then reverse. You're going to make sure the left foot is plantar flexed. Use both palms and fingers to pull and breathe into that stretch. And if you've never done this before, it might feel intense, but hopefully it'll provide insight into really taking care of the toes and then the feet. Okay, place the palms behind you. Lift the chest. So I want you to think this broadness in the chest. You're feeling very proud that you're here practicing on your mat, doing some yoga, something good for your body. Okay, so now you're going to lift your butt, hover the butt, and you're going to try and push your pubic bone toward your head, meaning you're not arching your lower back and sticking out your chest. You're drawing your tailbone toward the heels, pushing the soles of the feet together and keeping the knees wide. So you're going to keep this position, and now you're going to roll on to the left top of the foot and then roll on to the right. So you're really working on that ankle mobility, keeping the strength. So this is a strengthening exercise. I want you to keep pushing and pressing and just see what becomes available. I don't recommend doing this on the floor because it will hurt those bony parts. Make sure the hips aren't dropping, the pelvis isn't dropping, and then come back to center and lower down. Adjust your sit bones, wrap your fingers around the tops of the feet, squeeze, and just hinge from the hip with a long spine, further opening up those thighs, back of the neck long. Slowly release. I'm going to turn back to the side just to give you a better perspective. Okay, so we're going to really focus on those toes again in a plantar flexed variation. So you're going to take the left toes and plantar flex. Lift the butt and shift your butt forward and really put weight into those toes and the top of the foot, all the way to the ankle joint. Keep that chest broad and keep that position. I'm just going to show you one thing you don't want to do. When you're here, make sure that you don't sickle out to the side. It won't be great. For the ankle joint, just keep pushing the top of the foot forward, okay? And very slowly release, and let's switch sides. Keep the chest long and plantar flex the right foot, come onto the toes, lift the butt, slowly shift forward, adding weight, and just notice how much weight you can take on this side. Could be very different from the other side. Straight arms, keep the chest lifted, breathe into that stretch, and lower the butt, release the toes, stretch out the legs. Coming into Dandasana, seated staff pose, bring the back of the palms down. We're just going to stretch out the wrists. Spread the fingers really quick. If you have long arms like I do, keep the wrist next to the hip. Shorter arms, you want to bring them more forward. You want the back of the palm down, otherwise you won't get the stretch. Slowly shift back to stretch it out. Shift forward to release. Shift back. Shift forward to release, and one more. Shift back, shift forward to release, and shake it out. Okay, so this is an excellent practice to do very often for any type of standing poses. Balancing standing poses, high lunge, tree pose, Ardha Chandrasana, dancer, Natarasana, every kind of standing pose. Even just standing or walking, this is going to help you, and we'll be doing more. So enjoy, and I will see you soon.